Hello, I'm George, CEO and founder of BitNinja. Today I'm talking with Kelli Gray, product manager of cPanel, about a new offering from cPanel that I believe will shape the future of the hosting industry. Kelli, could you please introduce yourself and tell a couple of things about how this idea was coming and what is behind cPanel for Cloud?
Sure thing. So I'm Kelli Gray. I've been at WebPros for 6.5 years, formerly a product owner, and now I'm a product manager. And my general focus is over the cPanel product. So what we're talking about today is a new product that is currently in research and development at cPanel. We're calling it cPanel Cloud Edition for now. And the idea behind it is that hosting providers can set up or bring their own cluster to us, and we orchestrate and automate high availability for them. That's the short story of it. So, do you have some specific questions you'd like to shoot?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, can you please explain me what is the need behind this? So, is it like for high availability or to scale up WordPress installations, or is it both, or the security part? What is the biggest motivation behind the new product?
Okay, so the need behind this, there are a lot of hosting companies out there that either they do shared hosting, which is a lot of tenants on the same server, or they're selling VPS. You know, you've got one site, one big company on one server, stuff like that. High availability is important in both use cases. So things like for shared hosting, you've got potentially thousands upon thousands of sites on the same server. Anything as simple as the Reddit hug of death or a seasonal spike in traffic, it could take the whole server down. It could slow down performance for other sites there, and suddenly you have a ton of phone calls on your hand as a hosting provider. Why is my site slow? So high availability for this product would help relieve some of that pain, because the idea is that we would push the DNS services off the cPanel server, the database services, the web services, and you would be able to push the file system off the server too, so that the only thing on cPanel is the cPanel accounts. For VPS, as I mentioned, the use case there is maybe a hosting provider likes to sell that really, really nice, expensive premium plan, and that would be your site owners that have these heavy lifting, always moving products, eating up a lot of resources and stuff like that. They may be willing to actually pay for the 5 nines of uptime. So that's what we're working to achieve with this product.
All right, great to hear that you are targeting 5.9 of uptime. That's kind of the holy grail of hosting, and it's very nice to hear that now we are moving to this direction to have the technology to achieve this goal. Of course, if we are talking about WordPress, then security is also an important part. For this, we are working together to allow the customers to have BitNinja protection added to this offering, and to get ready for the prime time. Already started to implement the network layer protection, so the web functionality, the IP reputation, the botnet management, and we are working closely together to allow the users to have an ingress plugin that is able to handle seamlessly the connections. Could you please tell me a bit more about how the cluster will be structured? So, as I see, the cPanel will manage the cluster from the outside. what is in the inside on the cluster?
So, as a hosting provider who's interested in something like this, you would take your cPanel server, come to us, make the order to make it highly available, and we deploy the Kubernetes control plane as well as the pods that would run on the servers that you bring. And then we orchestrate all of the files to move out and stay synchronous. That's about as much technical I can give you. If you want some more, you'll have to get back in touch with us, or we'll get a product owner to talk to you about the technical details.
All right, that's great. So you, if I understand it correctly, you plan to have a seamless migration from cPanel, I mean the original cPanel, to the cloud version. So this way you'll be able to seamlessly migrate a customer from one place to the highly available cluster.
Yes.
That is very cool.
That's the goal.
That is very cool. At the same time, file level. So I believe one of the big questions of high availability and scalability is at the file system level. As far as I know, you are already working on a solution for this to offer. And I think that will be the next step for us as well, to handle the file level monitoring, or the file log monitoring, also the malware scanning and malware cleanup functionality. So do you have any sneak peek about what you plan regarding the file system level?
I can talk about it, and I do have a picture on my laptop that I can bring up. So for the file system, we will not do the full orchestration for that because it's so complicated and there's so many different ways to do file system. But we will support NFS, and we're hoping to also support Ceph. So one moment while I get that picture for you. So this is the example of how the structure could look. At minimum, we would want to at least give you 9 pods in order to call this highly available cPanel solution. And in this example, we have 3 servers, and the file system is off to the side up here. And we don't even, oh yeah, it does say NFS server. We're keeping it very generic. But this is a visual concept of how this would work. And we have our web servers, or the web surfers are doing the DNS pings to get to their content and consume it all. And they have no idea how this is working in the backend, and they don't have to know. It's just going to stay up for them.
All right, that's great to see. I have one more question regarding the timeline. So do you have any plans when developers beta or the production ready version will become available for the customers?
So right now we're doing performance testing to get an idea of how many WordPress sites, that's our benchmark, that would work on a typical cluster setup, so that we can figure out what these numbers look like. And once we get through that, we'll have a better idea on what the launch dates would look like. But today, after the performance testing, our goal is to get into a beta period. And just with a lot of things in the air, I don't have a date for you yet on that, but we're actively working. And if you're interested, we can give you a link to go look more about the cPanel roadmap for this product, and we'll keep you updated. There's also an email address where you can reach out and talk to us and ask us questions.
That's great. Thank you so much for the interview.